How to build wealth from nothing. The 7 assets that change your life. You weren't born rich. You weren't given the map, the money, or the connections. Maybe you started with nothing. No support, no guide, no safety net. But here's the truth the world doesn't tell you. You don't need money to start building wealth. You only need the courage to begin and the right assets inside you. Because real wealth doesn't start in your bank account. It starts in your mind. People often say, if I had more money, I'd be successful. But the truth is the opposite. If you become more valuable, money will follow you. This journey, how to build wealth from nothing, is about building value inside yourself. These are not shortcuts or secrets. They are 7 powerful assets, invisible but unstoppable, that can turn a broke person into a creator of wealth, freedom, and legacy. If you master them, you'll never be poor again. Because even if you lose everything, you'll know exactly how to rebuild it from the inside out. Let's start with the first and most powerful asset: knowledge. Asset number 1, the asset of knowledge. If you lose every dollar, every connection, every possession, but you still have knowledge, you can rise again. Because knowledge is the foundation of every form of wealth. Money is temporary. Opportunities come and go. But what you know, what you understand, and what you can do, those stay with you forever. The power of learning. Think of the most successful people on earth: Warren Buffett, Elon Musk, Oprah Winfrey, Bill Gates. They all share one obsession: learning. Buffett reads 5 to 6 hours a day. Musk taught himself rocket science by reading books. Oprah says reading saved her life. They don't learn because they have to. They learn because they choose to. They understand that every new skill, every book, every idea expands their world and multiplies their opportunities. The more you learn, the more you earn. Warren Buffett. Knowledge compounds just like money. Every new insight builds upon the last, creating a foundation that no one can steal from you. Hot knowledge versus information. But here's the key. Not all learning is equal. The internet is full of noise, endless information, opinions, distractions. Information is not power. Applied knowledge is. Real knowledge comes when you practice what you learn, when you fail, adjust, and grow. When you stop memorizing facts and start understanding principles. You can read 100 books about swimming, but until you jump into the water, you'll never know how it feels. That's how real knowledge is built. Specialized knowledge creates wealth. The richest people don't know everything. They know something specific deeply. A coder from masters software, an investor who understands markets, a designer who understands emotion, a teacher who knows how to inspire minds. Specialized knowledge is what turns value into income. If you only know what everyone knows, you'll only earn what everyone earns. But if you master something rare and valuable, the world will pay for your expertise. Continuous learning. The poor stop learning after school. The rich never stop. They turn every day into a classroom. They listen to podcasts in traffic. They read instead of scrolling. They ask questions instead of pretending to know. They pay for mentorship instead of wasting years figuring it out alone. Every lesson you learn becomes a tool you can use to build something new. And every tool gives you more power to create your own future. The practical path. Start with one simple rule. Learn one new thing every day and apply it immediately. Read books that challenge you. Take courses that stretch you.
Talk to people smarter than you. And most importantly, teach what you learn. Teaching turns knowledge into mastery. Because every time you explain an idea, you deepen your understanding. From nothing to something. If you feel lost, broke, or behind, remember this. You are not poor, you are untrained. Your mind is the factory of your future. And the quality of your life will always follow the quality of your thoughts. You don't need to be born smart, you just need to stay curious. That's how all success begins, with one decision to learn. So build this first asset. Feed your mind with truth, not noise. Feed your soul with wisdom, not distraction. And one day, your knowledge will create wealth beyond anything money could buy. Because money runs out, but wisdom compounds forever. Empty pockets never held anyone back. Only empty heads and empty hearts can do that. Norman Vincent Peale.
Part 2. The Asset of Skills, Turning Knowledge into Power. Opening. You've learned the first truth. Knowledge is the seed of all wealth. But knowledge alone isn't enough. You can read every book, watch every video, listen to every guru, and still stay broke if you never use what you know. Because wealth doesn't come from what you learn, it comes from what you can do. That's why the second life-changing asset is skill, the bridge between knowing and creating. Knowledge becomes power only when it's applied. Imagine this. A man studies business for years. He understands marketing, finance, and leadership. But he never starts a business. He keeps waiting for the right time. Then one day, someone with less knowledge but more courage starts something small and succeeds. Why? Because skill is born from action, not theory. You don't build skill by thinking. You build it by doing, again and again and again. Every time you try, fail, adjust, and try again, you carve ability into your hands, your brain, your instincts. The real difference between the rich and the poor. The poor say, "I don't know how." The rich say, "I'll learn how." That difference, that one decision, changes everything. People aren't born skilled. They build skills like bricks, 1 hour, 1 repetition, 1 challenge at a time. Every master was once a beginner who didn't quit. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your skills. By James Clear. The currency of the future is skill. Money flows to value, and value flows from ability. Every time you master a skill that solves a problem, you increase your earning power. Look at the world today. People are paid not for their time, but for their impact. A software engineer can earn thousands because they know how to automate systems. A skilled communicator can inspire millions and lead teams. A designer can move emotions with pixels. An investor can turn numbers into freedom. Every one of them is paid because they've mastered a skill that others need. You don't have to master all skills. You just have to master a few that matter deeply. High-value skills, the game changers. Let's be clear, not all skills pay equally. If you want to build wealth from nothing, focus on high-value skills, skills that multiply results, not just effort. Here are the 7 that change lives. Communication, the ability to express, inspire, and influence. If you can speak clearly, write persuasively, and connect emotionally, doors open. Sales, the ability to help others say yes to what they need. The highest paid people in every field know how to sell, not manipulate, but serve through persuasion. Leadership, the ability to move people towards a shared vision. Leaders create impact far beyond their own hands. Money management,
knowing how to keep, grow, and multiply your earnings. Most people earn and lose. The wealthy earn and invest. Creative thinking. Seeing connections where others see chaos. Creativity turns ordinary ideas into billion-dollar innovations. Digital literacy. Understanding how technology shapes opportunity. The world rewards those who adapt faster than others. Emotional intelligence. Knowing how to manage yourself and connect with others. EQ is the secret edge of great leaders, partners, and creators.
Skill turns fear into power. When you're unskilled, fear controls you. You say, I can't do it. It's too hard. What if I fail? But once you build skill, you feel in control. Fear fades when competence grows. Because deep down, skill gives you proof that you can. A confident boxer isn't fearless. He's trained. A skilled speaker still feels nerves, but he knows how to channel them. A skilled entrepreneur still faces uncertainty, but they trust their ability to adapt. Skill is your armor against fear. It gives you quiet power, the kind that comes from experience, not ego. The cycle of mastery. Here's how skill is built, always. 1. Learn. Study the basics, understand the theory, watch the masters. 2. Practice. Do it, even if it's ugly, even if it fails. Repetition is the mother of mastery. 3. Reflect. Ask what worked, what didn't. Improvement is impossible without reflection. 4. Refine. Adjust, polish, improve. Turn mistakes into muscle memory. 5. Teach. Share your knowledge, because teaching forces mastery. The more you repeat this cycle, the more valuable you become. From survival to freedom. When you have skills, you'll never truly be broke. Because skill is portable wealth. It travels with you wherever you go. Lose your job? You'll create another. Lose your business? You'll build a new one. Lose your money? You'll earn it back faster than before. People can take away your title, your possessions, even your status, but they can never take away what's in your hands and mind. Quote, formal education will make you a living. Self-education will make you a fortune. Jim Rohn. The story of reinvention. Think about this. A man named Sylvester Stallone once slept on the streets of New York, broke, hungry, and rejected by every film studio. But he had one skill, storytelling. He believed in the script he wrote, Rocky. He refused to sell it unless he could star in it. Eventually, one studio agreed, and Rocky became a global success, winning Oscars and inspiring generations. That skill, his ability to act, write, and persist, built his empire. He didn't wait for money. He developed ability. And ability brought the money. The practical path. If you're starting from zero, here's your challenge. 1. Pick one skill that excites you. 2. Dedicate 1 hour a day for 90 days to practice it. 3. Track your progress, document your journey, and share what you learn. Within 3 months, you'll see transformation. Not just in results, but in confidence. Skill compounds like interest. Every hour makes you sharper, stronger, and closer to freedom. Closing of part 2. So build this second asset with patience and pride. Don't wait for opportunity, prepare for it. Because when preparation meets opportunity, people call it luck. Every time you practice, every time you fail, every time you get back up, you are not wasting time. You are building power. Money will come and go, but skill, real skill, will feed you for life. Quote, success is not about luck. It's about the courage to learn, practice, and master what others won't.
Part 3. The Asset of Time.
Mastering the one thing you can never get back. Opening. Let me ask you something powerful. What is the most valuable thing you own right now? It's not your car. It's not your phone. It's not even your bank account. It's your time. Because time is the only asset that everyone receives equally, but only a few use wisely. You can lose money and earn it back. You can lose possessions and replace them. But once you lose time, it's gone forever. Quote, "The poor spend time to save money. The rich invest money to save time. That is the difference between existing and living with purpose." End quote. Time is your true currency. Think about this. Every morning, you wake up with 24 hours in your account. No one gets more, no one gets less. You decide how to spend it. Some people invest their hours, learning, creating, building. Others waste them, scrolling, complaining, distracting. And when the day ends, the truth is revealed. Your results are simply a reflection of how you used your time. Because time is not money. Time creates money. The invisible clock. Here's a truth that most people ignore. You are trading your life for something right now. Every scroll, every argument, every distraction costs you life force. When you waste an hour, you're not just losing 60 minutes, you're losing a piece of your potential. Imagine a clock above your head counting down the moments of your life. Each second that passes is one you'll never get back. The wealthy feel this truth every day. That's why they guard their time like gold. That's why they plan, focus, and say no to things that don't matter. Because they know, if you don't control your time, someone else will. Quote, "If you don't control your time, someone else will." End quote. The 80-20 law of life. Have you heard of the Pareto principle, the 80-20 rule? It says that 80% of results come from just 20% of your actions. The rich live by this rule. They identify the few things that make the biggest difference, and they eliminate everything else. The average person fills their day with noise. The successful person fills their day with intention. It's not about being busy. It's about being effective. You can work 10 hours and accomplish nothing, or work 2 hours with clarity and move mountains. That's the difference between activity and impact. The power of focus. Focus is the multiplier of time. When you focus deeply, you stretch time. You get more done in 1 hour than most people do in 1 day. But focus is hard in the modern world. Your phone, your notifications, your entertainment, they're all stealing your attention. Every moment you give away is a moment you'll never get back. So you must protect your focus like your future depends on it, because it does. Quote, "Where focus goes, energy flows." End quote. Train yourself to stay locked in. When you work, work like a warrior. When you rest, rest completely. When you learn, learn deeply. That's how masters use time, with purpose, precision, and passion.
Time management versus life management. Time management isn't about calendars or apps. It's about priorities. Ask yourself, what matters most? What moves me closer to my dream? What will still matter 5 years from now? If something doesn't align with your mission, learn to say no. Because every yes is a trade. When you say yes to distractions, you say no to your destiny. The poor spend time chasing comfort. The rich spend time chasing growth. The poor fill their days with entertainment. The rich fill the days with education. That's why their lives look so different after a few years. The power of routines. Your daily habits are the architecture of your destiny. Show me your routine, and I'll show you your future. You don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. If you want to master time, create rituals that turn discipline into automatic behavior. Here is how the greats use their day. They wake up early, not to show off, but to own the quiet hours. They plan their day the night before. They work in focused blocks, not endless hours. They review what went right and what wasted time. They give their best energy to their most important work. Do this consistently, and you'll separate yourself from 95% of people in a few months, because while they're reacting, you're creating. Time is energy. Remember, time by itself is neutral. It's energy that gives time value. If you're tired, scattered, and stressed, an hour becomes worthless. But if you're clear, focused, and energized, an hour becomes powerful. So take care of your energy like you take care of your time. Sleep well, eat clean, move your body, protect your mind from negativity. The body is the engine that carries your dreams. Don't run it on empty. Time and meaning. At the end of life, people don't regret losing money. They regret wasting time on things and people that didn't matter. So ask yourself daily, is this how I want to spend my limited time on earth? If the answer is no, change it. Because your life is not measured in years, but in moments of purpose. And purpose is what turns ordinary time into extraordinary legacy. Closing of part 3. So build this third asset. Master your time. Guard it like treasure. Wake up with intention. Work with focus. Rest with peace. Because in the end, wealth is not about how long you live. It's about how fully you live the hours you have. You can't control how much time you get, but you can always control how well you use it. Don't just count the days, make the days count. Muhammad Ali. Part 4. The asset of money discipline. How to control money before it controls you. Opening. Let's get one thing straight. Money is not evil. Money is not the enemy. Money is a tool, nothing more, nothing less. But like any powerful tool, it can either build your future or destroy your peace. The truth is simple. If you don't learn to control money, money will control you. And the world is filled with people who look rich but are actually trapped. Trapped by debt, by lifestyle, by ego. So today, let's talk about mastering the art of money discipline, the foundation of financial freedom. Illusion of wealth. We live in a world where it's easy to look rich. Fancy cars, designer clothes, the latest gadgets. But real wealth is not about showing off. It's about having options. The option to walk away from a job you hate. The option to travel when you want. The option to say no when something doesn't align with your values. That's what money buys. Not luxury, but freedom. Being rich is having money. Being wealthy is having time. By Margaret Bonanno. So before you chase more income, learn to master the money you already have. The wealth mindset. Most people think like spenders. The wealthy think like investors. A spender asks, "What can I buy?" An investor asks, "What will this create?" The spender looks for pleasure. The investor looks for growth. This is why two people can earn the same salary, but one builds wealth while the other stays broke. It's not about how much you make, it's about how you manage
what you make. The law of control. Money flows towards those who respect it. If you manage $100 well, you'll be trusted with $1,000. If you manage $1,000 well, you'll be trusted with $10,000. But if you can't manage a small amount, don't expect life to hand you more. Start small. Track your money. Know where every dollar goes. Because every dollar that leaves your pocket is either a seed or a leak. The wealthy understand this. They plant seeds. The poor ignore it. They leak. Which one are you? The 50-30-20 rule and beyond. Let's make it practical. The basics of money discipline can start with a simple structure. 50% needs: food, housing, transportation, essential life costs. 30% wants: entertainment, dining, pleasure, but in control. 20% growth: savings, investments, education, future projects. If you can't follow this perfectly, start smaller. 10%, 5%, even 1%. The goal isn't perfection, it's consistency. Because small amounts, when handled wisely, become large over time. Compound growth doesn't just apply to money, it applies to discipline. The power of paying yourself first. Here's one rule every millionaire lives by. Always pay yourself first. Before you pay bills, before you shop, before you spend, set aside money for your future self. Why? Because if you wait until what's left, there will never be anything left. When you save and invest first, you're sending a message to your mind. I respect my future more than my impulses. That mindset alone separates the wealthy from the average.
The emotional side of money. Money is not just numbers, it's emotion. Fear, guilt, greed, comparison. These feelings drive financial decisions. That's why many people sabotage their success without realizing it. You must learn to detach emotions from spending. Ask yourself, do I really need this, or am I trying to feel better for a moment? Most people buy things to escape pain. The wealthy invest to build peace. One purchase satisfies you for a day. One investment satisfies you for a lifetime. B8. The 4 uses of money. Money can do only 4 things. Spend it for comfort and living, save it for safety, invest it for growth, give it for meaning. A balanced life uses all 4. But if you only spend, you stay trapped. If you only save, you stagnate. If you invest and give, you elevate. The goal is not to die with money. The goal is to live with purpose. Harmony symbol 7. Systems create freedom. Discipline isn't about restriction. It's about creating systems that run automatically. Set up automatic savings. Automate your bill payments. Track your expenses weekly. The less emotion involved, the better your results. The wealthy don't rely on motivation. They rely on systems. They know that willpower fades, but systems stay. So build systems that protect your money from your moods. B8. Money and identity. Here's a truth that stings. You will never rise above your financial identity. If you see yourself as bad with money, your subconscious will prove you right. If you see yourself as a builder of wealth, you'll start acting that way. Identity drives behavior. Behavior builds results. Results reinforce identity. So shift your story. You are not someone trying to save money. You are someone who is building freedom. B5. The rich think long-term. Average minds think about the weekend. Rich minds think about decades. The wealthy make choices their future self will thank them for.
They don't ask, what will make me happy today? They ask, what will make me proud 5 years from now? And when you live by that question, you start making wealthy decisions even before you have money. Wealth is not built by chance, but by choice, repeated daily. The harmony symbol 9. Gratitude for what you have. Ironically, the fastest way to attract more money is to appreciate what you already have. Gratitude sharpens your awareness of value. And when you value things, you stop wasting them. Be thankful for the paycheck, no matter how small. Be grateful for the bills. They remind you that you have a home, light, water, connection. Wealth is built not just with strategy, but with energy. And gratitude keeps your financial energy clean. The long dash, the final rule of money discipline. Let's end this part with the ultimate truth. Money amplifies who you already are. If you're kind, generous, and wise, money makes you more so. If you're fearful, greedy, or careless, money magnifies that too. So don't just focus on earning more money. Focus on becoming the kind of person who deserves it. Because when you grow into that person, wealth will naturally follow. The harmony symbol 7. Closing of part 4. Master your money and you master your freedom. Respect every dollar, track every expense. Let discipline be your defense and growth be your goal. Money is not about luxury, it's about leverage. It's not about things, it's about choices. And remember, the goal isn't to have more money. The goal is to have more control over your time and life.
Part 5. The asset of knowledge. How to learn, adapt, and stay ahead of 99% of people. Opening. If money is fuel, then knowledge is the engine that drives your life forward. You can lose money, you can lose time, even lose people, but what you learn stays with you forever. Knowledge doesn't just change your mind, it changes your destiny. The world pays you for the value you bring, and value always comes from what you know and can do. Formal education will make you a living. Self-education will make you a fortune. Jim Rohn. So if you want to build wealth from nothing, you must become a student of life. The knowledge gap. Here's a harsh truth. Most people stop learning the day they leave school. They memorize facts for exams, then forget them for life. They think education ends with a diploma. But the wealthy, the truly successful, never stop learning. Because the moment you stop learning, you start declining. In a world that's changing every second, ignorance is the most expensive thing you can own. Your income rarely exceeds your personal development, T. Harv Eker. That means if you want to earn more, you have to learn more. The power of self-education. Let's be clear. Self-education doesn't mean you need another degree. It means you take responsibility for your growth. You read books, you watch mentors, you study skills, you observe the successful. You become curious again. You ask questions again. You become a seeker of wisdom. Because success doesn't belong to the smartest. It belongs to the most open-minded. The new currency of the 21st century. We live in a time where information is everywhere, but information isn't power. Applied information is power. You can Google anything, yet most people still struggle. Why? Because they don't use what they learn. Knowledge is like a gym membership. It only works if you show up and train. The wealthy don't just collect information, they collect skills. Skills that make them valuable, irreplaceable, and free. Learn a skill that solves problems, and you'll never worry about money again. The 3 levels of learning. There are 3 stages of real learning. Learning for understanding, you read, watch, listen, absorb ideas. Learning for practice, you apply, test, make mistakes, adjust. Learning for mastery, you teach it to others, refine it, live it. Because most people stop at the first level. That's why they know a lot but do little. True wealth builders climb all 3. They study, they act, they teach. Because knowledge only becomes wisdom when it's lived. Learning from failure. Every failure is a class in disguise. The poor mindset says, I failed. The rich mindset says, I learned. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of success. Every time you fall, you gather data. You learn what doesn't work, and that brings you closer to what does. The best entrepreneurs, creators, and investors are not lucky. They're just experienced learners. They've failed faster, reflected deeper, and adapted quicker. As a smart person learns from their mistakes, a wise person learns from the mistakes of others. So don't fear failure, fear ignorance, because ignorance costs more than any mistake ever will.
The value of reading. You want a shortcut to wealth? Read. Reading is time travel. You access decades of someone's experience in a few hours. Books are the cheapest mentors on earth. Warren Buffett reads for hours every day. Elon Musk learned rocket science from books. Oprah Winfrey calls reading her escape and her empowerment. So, make reading a ritual. 10 pages a day may not seem like much, but 10 pages a day is 3,650 pages a year. That's about 18 books. 18 minds, 18 ideas, 18 worlds. Do that for 5 years and you'll outgrow everyone around you. Because the more you learn, the more you see. Learn from everyone. What are the secrets of successful people? They learn from everyone. From books, podcasts, people, mistakes, conversations, and even enemies. The poor mindset says, I already know. The rich mindset says, what can I learn from this? Every person you meet knows something you don't. Every challenge hides a lesson waiting to be discovered. If you keep your mind open, the world becomes your classroom. Adapt or die. The world changes fast. Technology, markets, jobs, everything evolves. The skill that will make you wealthy is not one single knowledge. It's the ability to keep learning. In today's world, the learner outpaces the experienced. Yesterday's expert becomes today's beginner if they stop growing. So stay flexible. Be willing to start again. Be willing to reinvent yourself. Because wealth flows to those who can adapt. The circle of learning. Here's a simple daily practice used by many top achievers. The circle of learning. Consume, read, listen, or watch something valuable daily. Reflect. Write down what you learned. Apply. Use it in real life that same day. Share. Teach it to someone else. This simple process turns information into transformation. Within months, you won't just know more, you'll become more. The return on knowledge. Think about this. If you invest $1,000 in the stock market, maybe you earn 10%. If you invest $1,000 in yourself, in a skill, a course, or a mentor, that return could be infinite. Because when you learn something valuable, it pays you for life. A skill learned once can feed you forever. Knowledge compounds just like money, except faster and with no ceiling. That's why self-education is the best investment you'll ever make. Knowledge plus action equals power. Knowledge alone isn't enough. If knowledge were power, librarians would rule the world. Knowledge becomes power only when it's applied. Study, yes, but act even faster. Don't wait until you know everything. You'll never start. Act, fail, learn, adjust, act again. That's the rhythm of all great achievers. Closing of Part 5. Asset number 5. Knowledge. So, build your fifth asset, knowledge. Be a student of success. Be hungry for growth. Be obsessed with learning. Because your mind is your greatest factory. And every idea, every insight, every new skill you add is another brick in your empire. An investment in knowledge always pays the best interest. Benjamin Franklin. Don't just chase money, chase wisdom. Because money can make you rich, but knowledge will make you limitless. End of Part 5. Asset number 5. Knowledge.
Part 6. The asset of relationships. How to build powerful connections that multiply your success. Opening. No one builds an empire alone. Behind every great success story, every self-made millionaire, every visionary, every leader, there's a network of people who helped them rise. People who opened doors, people who believed when others doubted, people who taught, inspired, challenged, and pushed them higher. Because wealth isn't just about what you know or do. It's also about who you grow with. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. African proverb. Impact. The power of connection. Life is built on relationships. Opportunities don't just appear, they are created through people. A single introduction can change your destiny. One mentor can save you years of mistakes. One partnership can multiply your income overnight. But most people ignore this truth. They chase money instead of relationships. They focus on taking instead of giving. And in doing so, they block the very doors that lead to abundance. Because the secret to success is not networking. It's relationship building. Networking says, "What can I get?" Relationship building says, "What can I give?" The law of value exchange. Every great relationship is built on value. If you want to attract powerful people, become the kind of person who brings value wherever you go. Ask yourself, what problems can I solve for others? What skills, knowledge, or energy can I offer? How can I make this person's life better, even in a small way? People remember value. They remember authenticity. They remember those who lift others up without expecting immediate rewards. You can have everything in life you want if you will just help enough other people get what they want. Zig Ziglar. That's the ultimate formula for wealth through relationships. The people around you shape your destiny. Take a moment and look around. Who are the 5 people you spend the most time with? Because whether you realize it or not, they are shaping your thoughts, your habits, and your future. If you surround yourself with complainers, you'll start complaining. If you surround yourself with dreamers, you'll start dreaming bigger. If you surround yourself with builders, you'll start building too. Your circle is your mirror. It reflects your standards. Show me your friends, and I'll show you your future. Dan Penna. Choose wisely. The stages of relationship growth are in 3 levels. Contacts, people you meet, greet, and exchange information with. Allies, people you collaborate with, share ideas, and grow alongside. Mentors and partners, people who elevate you, challenge you, and change your trajectory. The key is to move beyond contacts. Anyone can collect business cards or followers. Few can build real alliances. True wealth comes from depth, not breadth. A few authentic, aligned relationships will take you further than hundreds of shallow ones.
How to build meaningful connections.
Here's how wealthy minds approach relationships. Be genuinely interested in people. Ask questions. Listen deeply. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Follow up and stay consistent. Send a message. Remember birthdays. Check in when you don't need anything. Small gestures build big loyalty. Add value first. Share insights. Offer help. Make introductions. Don't keep score. Respect time and energy. High-level people value time more than money. Be brief, clear, and intentional. Be authentic. Fake interest never lasts. Let your sincerity be your strongest signal. When you give freely, the world gives back, often in ways you couldn't have predicted. Mentors, the shortcut to growth. Behind every great success is a mentor, someone who's walked the path you're now starting. A mentor compresses time. They help you avoid mistakes, focus your energy, and accelerate your progress. But don't just look for a mentor. Earn one. Mentorship isn't given, it's attracted. Be humble, hungry, and teachable. Show effort before you ask for advice. Apply what they share, and they'll share more. When you find the right mentor, treat that relationship as sacred, because wisdom is the highest gift one human can give another. The power of community. One person can change a room. A community can change the world. When you're part of a supportive, growth-oriented tribe, your energy multiplies. You no longer carry your dreams alone. You share momentum, accountability, and ideas. That's why the wealthy and successful always form networks, masterminds, and communities, because they understand success is contagious. When you spend time around people who expect greatness from you, you start expecting it from yourself too. The balance. Give, but protect your energy. While giving value is essential, remember this: you can't pour from an empty cup. Not every relationship deserves unlimited access. Some people drain you. Some people distract you. Some people deceive you. So learn the art of healthy boundaries. You can love people without letting them waste your energy. You can forgive people without giving them power over your focus. Protect your circle like a garden. Remove the weeds, water the seeds. Because every person in your life is either helping you grow or holding you back. Choose growth. The ripple effect. When you build great relationships, you don't just grow your network, you grow your impact. Your name starts opening doors before you arrive. Opportunities start finding you. Because people talk. And when your reputation becomes your brand of trust, the world begins to work in your favor. The best marketing in the world is still a good name. Closing of Part 6. So build this sixth asset, relationships. Be the kind of person others want to grow with. Give first. Listen deeply. Stay loyal. Because wealth isn't built in isolation. It's built through collaboration. You can have the best idea in the world, but it will stay an idea until the right people help you make it real. Your network is your net worth. Invest in people, because at the end of the day, it's not what you know or own, it's who walks with you that defines the journey. End of Part 6. Asset number 6. Relationships.
Part 7. The asset of character. The inner power that holds everything together. Opening. When everything else fades, the money, the fame, the comfort, one thing remains: who you are. Character is the invisible backbone of success. It's what you do when no one is watching. It's the truth you live by when the world tempts you to lie. In the end, your skills may open doors, but your character decides whether those doors stay open. Wealth built on character is wealth that lasts. The foundation of real success. Character isn't glamorous. It's not what people post about online, but it's the quiet strength that holds everything together when life tests you, and it will test you. There will be moments when things fall apart, when your plans fail, when you're misunderstood, rejected, or betrayed. And in those moments, it's not your bank account or degree that saves you. It's your inner code, your courage, discipline, and honesty. Because character is what remains when comfort disappears. The 5 pillars of strong character. Let's break it down. True character is built on 5 timeless pillars. Integrity, doing what's right even when it costs you. Discipline, doing what's necessary even when you don't feel like it. Responsibility, owning your actions and their consequences. Resilience, standing tall after every fall. Humility, staying grounded no matter how high you rise. Let's explore each one, because together they form the steel frame of greatness. 1. Integrity, the core of trust. Integrity means being whole, your words, actions, and values aligned. It's easy to lie a little, cheat a little, or cut corners. But every time you do, you weaken the foundation of who you are. People with true integrity sleep peacefully. They don't need to remember their lies. Their power comes from authenticity. And the world can feel that. It takes 20 years to build a reputation and 5 minutes to ruin it. By Warren Buffett. Integrity is what makes people trust you with their money, time, and respect. Lose that, and nothing else matters. 2. Discipline, the bridge between goals and reality. Discipline is the ultimate self-respect. It means doing what's needed to be done, especially when it's hard. The undisciplined chase comfort. The disciplined chase greatness. You can't build wealth without the ability to say no to distraction and yes to consistency. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, your discipline grows stronger. And discipline compounds, like money, like trust, like progress. First you make your habits, then your habits make you. 3. Responsibility, the power of ownership. The poor mindset says, it's not my fault. The rich mindset says, it's my responsibility. When you take ownership of everything in your life, the wins, the losses, the choices, you gain control. Blame gives away your power. Responsibility takes it back. It doesn't matter what life gives you. What matters is what you do with it. Every great leader, every self-made success started the moment they said, "No one is coming to save me. It's on me." That's not pressure. That's freedom. 4. Resilience, the art of rising again. Every dreamer gets knocked down. Every builder faces setbacks. Every hero bleeds. The difference between the rich and the poor
the strong and the broken, is resilience. Resilience is the power to get back up one more time than you fall. When life hits you, remember you've survived 100% of your worst days so far. You're undefeated in endurance. So stop fearing pain. Pain is just tuition for wisdom. Every challenge you overcome builds inner armor, invisible wealth that can't be stolen. Fall 7 times, stand up 8. Japanese proverb.
5. Humility, the strength to keep growing. Humility is not weakness, it's wisdom. It's knowing that no matter how much you know, there's always more to learn. It's understanding that success is temporary, but character is eternal. Humility keeps you teachable. It keeps your ego in check. It keeps you connected to the people who helped you rise. The moment you think you're too big to learn, life has a way of reminding you that you're not. Stay humble, stay hungry. That's how legends live. Fire. Character creates stability. Imagine building a skyscraper on sand. It might rise fast, but it won't last long. Now, imagine building it on stone, slow, solid, permanent. That's the difference between success with and without character. Character turns temporary wins into lasting empires. It turns pressure into power. It turns struggle into strength. Without it, even wealth becomes a trap. With it, even struggle becomes fuel. The inner compass. When you have strong character, you stop chasing everything and start attracting the right things. You no longer need to prove yourself. You simply be yourself. People sense your integrity. They trust your word. They respect your consistency. Your name becomes your legacy. Your example becomes your message. And in a noisy world full of shortcuts and illusions, character becomes your quiet superpower. The true measure of wealth. In the end, wealth is not measured by what's in your bank, but by what's in your heart. Money fades, looks fade, status fades. But your character, your courage, your kindness, your integrity remains. That's the kind of wealth no one can take from you. It's the wealth that inspires others long after you're gone. The wealth that builds trust, love, and legacy. Try not to become a man of success, but rather try to become a man of value. Albert Einstein. Closing of Part 7. So build this final and greatest asset, character. Let your actions speak louder than your words. Let your integrity shine brighter than your image. Let your resilience carry you when everything else falls apart. Because when you have character, you can lose everything and still rise again. That's real power. That's real wealth. You can't control the world, but you can always control who you become. And when you master that, you've mastered everything. End of Part 7. Asset number 7. Character. Epilogue. Imagine yourself 10 years from now. Are you living the same life you live today, chasing distractions, giving in to fear, letting time slip through your fingers? Or are you the person who decided today to rise above, to take control, to build the 7 assets that guarantee wealth and freedom? Wealth is not luck. It's not inherited. It's not given. It's built, brick by brick, day by day. Knowledge, skills, time mastery, money discipline, networks, mindset, and character. These are your tools, your armor, your blueprint for a life you designed deliberately. Every hour you spend learning, every skill you sharpen, every relationship you nurture, every choice you make with discipline and integrity, it compounds. Like seeds planted in fertile soil, your life grows. One day that small effort becomes a forest. One day you don't chase money, money chases you. One day your life is a testament to what focus, action, and character can create. You have the power to change your story. The choice is simple. Continue drifting or step into deliberate action. Start now. Build today. Rise above. Because your wealth, your freedom, your destiny is waiting, and the time to claim it is now.
If this video inspired you or helped you learn something new, please take a moment to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the Motivation to Study English for 30 minutes every day. Your support is the energy that keeps us creating better and more meaningful videos every single day.